Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn GCP with Mahesh. In our today's video in Think and Design in GCP video series, the question is something like this. You want to connect to BigQuery via a Google Compute Engine, which runs a compute engine, which runs basically a Python program to read a specific table from BigQuery. That is the whole thing. And this query process, or you want to run this query on an ad hoc basis. It's not every day you are going to run. It's on an ad hoc basis. You need to build a cost-effective solution with also Google's recommended best practices with respect to Cloud IAM. So this is all the requirement from the customer. So how do you design a good solution for this? So as usual, pause the video if you want to think about the solution, and if you get a good solution, please put that solution in the comment section. And I have a possible solution, which is one of the possible one, not the best solution. So let's look at that possible solution. The possible solution, I wanted to break that into two parts. The first part is connecting to BigQuery. That's the most important thing, and this is via a virtual machine. So when such thing comes, the first thing which should come into mind is service account. So that is what strike me. So the solution which I thought is, first create a service account which will be used by a preemptible virtual machine. Why preemptible virtual machine? Because they have mentioned it's going to be running on an ad hoc basis. So you don't need to have a virtual machine which is running 24/7. So preemptible virtual machine is all good. A service account, and the service account will have BigQuery job user. Job user is good enough to run a select query on a BigQuery data set. That's all is required. So this is what I feel as a possible solution. Let me know if there's any better solution in the comment section. So to see whether the solution really works or not, let's jump into the demo and try to do it. So first let's create a service account, a custom service account, then attach that service account in while creating a virtual machine, and we'll make sure the virtual machine is a preemptible virtual machine, and we'll use a existing code to run a small Python code which just sends a select statement to BigQuery and see whether it works or not. All right, let's just jump into the demo. The first part is, let's try to create a service account. Let's name that service account something like GCE hyphen to BQ, something like that. That should be good. From virtual machine to BigQuery, BQ better. Let's make it as BigQuery. Click create, and let's make sure we give a role which is something very apt. The role is BigQuery job user. I can just show you why BigQuery job user is better than anything else, because principle of least privilege comes into picture here, because the question also mentioned you need to use some of the recommended practice from Google. So that's the key here. Click continue, and let's click done. So the first part is done. So what we'll do is we'll go to our virtual machine screen and try to create a virtual machine and make sure it is a preemptible virtual machine. And under the service account section, we'll make sure this new service account which we created, we will add in there. So let's just create it. So everything is live, so I'm not pausing the video. I just wanted to show you everything live here. Python GCE hyphen BQ. So let it be in Mumbai, and as usual we will use our micro instance so that we will not incur more cost. This is the most important part. I'm not going to use default service account because it's going to use editor role. Editor role is a primitive role, and recommendation from Google is never use primitive role in production systems. So I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use the service account which we just created now, and when we click on that, everything is controlled via Cloud IAM. So, and we have given the right role is what I feel, BigQuery job user. But let's check it out by provisioning this. Okay, the one thing which I missed is under management, make sure you enable preemptibility. So if I do this and go up and see the price comes to $3, $3.55. Otherwise it would have been $5. So good. So click on create. Let's wait for the instance to be created. Alright, the virtual machine is created. Once the virtual machine was created, something which strike me is I can make it still optimized. As most of you know, from January 2020, external IPs are charged. So better, what I would do is I'll make sure I'll turn off the external IP address. This would become a much cost-effective solution. So you see this, it's preemptible. That's good. So let me just edit it and make sure I uh, null. I don't want the external IP address. I'll make it none. So let me just click on the network setting and make this as none, so that this would be, I would say, one of the best options of cost optimization. So let me just click on save. Alright, this has been updated. Now if I go back to the screen, you will see it does not have external IP address, something really good. So since it's preemptible, right, it was taken back immediately by Google. So no worries, but the data is would be still there. So we by ourselves decided we wanted it to have a preemptible virtual machine. That's okay. So this is where you see an actual preemptible instance going down. So this is a good chance for somebody to see that. So that's really good. So let's wait for the instance to come up and we'll then SSH into it. So yes, the instance is up. Let me SSH into it. All right, I have SSH into this machine and I have installed the necessary uh, Python modules and also the program which we need to run. So the program is something like this, which it's a standard program which is like roughly around 18 lines of code, where it just connects to BigQuery client and runs this query on a public data set and outputs it. And I have mentioned to output only 5 rows. So if we want, we can change it. We'll change that later in the next time when we run it. So before I run, I just wanted to show what is the service account it has been using. So it is a service account which we had configured, the custom service account. Looks all good. So let me just do Python. And most of you know Python 2 is end of life. So let's use Python 3 and let's run and see whether it really works using that service account. Looks like things are working. Yes, it is working. So let's just edit this and try to get more results. Maybe 50 results is good enough. So let's just save. Just wanted to show you that it's a live one, and let's see whether it retrieves it. Looks like it is trying to. Yes, that's the thing. So we have really got a cost optimized solution. So if you see, it's one preemptible virtual machine, cost optimized one, and we have also made sure external IP is none. Again, it is really a enhancement which we have done, and we have used a best practice when it comes to cloud IAM. If you see, the reason is we have made sure that service account will have only BigQuery job user. So that's something really good. Let me just show you. So this is the service account which we created and we are given BigQuery job users. If for some people why BigQuery job users has been given, if it's not clear, very simple, just come here, go to your roles and search for that specific role which I had given, BigQuery job user, and you will come to know what is the this thing which we have given, like what and all the permissions this role comprises of. This role comprises of only 3 roles. Very simple, 3 roles. The one is BigQuery job, BigQuery.job.create. This is where you can using this permission you can do loading, selecting the command. So you can do all those kinds of activity, any load, create statements, all those things. Sorry, load, querying the table, all those can be done easily with this permission. So that is why we use this. So now going back to the solution, so using a preemptible virtual machine with custom service account, plus the addition which we improved was removed external IP address, and make sure the service account is having BigQuery job user will fulfill the requirement which is mentioned in the screen. So that's the video which I wanted to share today. Thank you for watching.